but I think he is a more deadly offensive player than Kobe or Durant were, or Durant is / were, and Kobe was.
They're so different. Kobe and Durant are mainly scorers.
Yes.
This guy, it hasn't caught on. He's a point center.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He is the first point center. And you see Sabonis kind of in that role too. Şengün at times, not quite as much as these two, but still, like, he's a point center.
Yes.
And this is why, and Giannis is awesome. And I thought a year and a half ago, Giannis was the best player in the world. But when you watch them, you brought up, like, everybody knows their role and everybody. It's because of him. It's because of Jokic. Like, he's not ball dominant, but he obviously has the ball in his hands a lot, but he's passing it. Mm-hmm. He's not just dribbling. We're going to talk about Luka later. He's not just pounding the ball like a lot of the stars today. He has the ball in his hands, but he's getting rid of it. You double him. He's hitting the right pass. Like, he can do it all. So it's hard to argue with your list.
I know I threw that list at you.
And he's going to, I mean, he's still young.
Well, that's the thing.
Relative, who knows where this is going?
He does, and I know it's become very in vogue this week to, go watch 80s and 90s basketball as part of the Jordan-LeBron debate. People should, if they haven't, watch Larry Bird, because when including Bird on that list, his raw numbers might not show it. But Bird was. He wasn't the Celtics' point guard, but his ability to
orchestrate. He was their best passer.
Yes, his ability to orchestrate everything. And I know the white guy comps sometimes get tired, but there are a lot of similarities in his game to Bird, and he's one of the most dominant offensive players I've ever seen.
The 7-foot Larry Bird.
Watch Şengün, too, like past and future.
Yeah,
Celtics lose back-to-back for the first time since November. Tatum for the lead here?
Yeah.
Here we go, bro. No, he knew he missed it too. Once you start shooting and hopping,
the hopping,
that means you're going to miss it. Here's Jaylen Brown, who played awesome the whole game. Take a listen.
So many mistakes. Against a good team, we got to take advantage. Turnovers, free throws, just missing the defensive assignments. All of that stuff we got to be better at. And it starts with me, starts with the top, starts with Jason. And we made too many mistakes, and it cost us the game.
Okay, here was Tatum's stat line last night. First 8 minutes, not too bad. Rest of the game, 7 points. 2 for 10, 5 turnovers, plus minus 7. Nick, what was the number one reason the Celtics lost?
Well, Denver's better, but that's not what I want to talk about here. That's why I wanted to go first. Wilds, who has the best record in basketball?
I believe the Celtics still do.
Who's their best player?
Well, Jason Tatum is.
So he's the league MVP, right?
I never said that. I said that he should not be 5th. He should not be 5th behind Luka Doncic, who just dribbles the air out of the ball, has triple-doubles, and loses games.
That was not all you said.
I didn't say he's the MVP.
Wilds.
I said he should be higher than 5th,
Brew, were you here?
Did
it sound like, hold on, Wilds, we asked you repeatedly what Brew said, it's not best player on the best team, and you said it should be.
I mean,
because...
I hate to side with Nick on this, but it did sound yesterday like you were saying best player on best team.
And he's still the best player. He's still on the best team. Do you see now why he is not anywhere in the vicinity of the league's MVP conversation? Do you see it?
He should be in the vicinity.
I would think he should be in the vicinity.
Thank you, bro.
You don't think he should be in the vicinity? Well, he shouldn't be in that top 5?
Well, okay, so I guess my point is more people are going to get votes because you vote 1 through 5 than are actually in the conversation. In my opinion, right now, there are really 3 people you can make a credible case for and a 4th in Luka if all of a sudden they win 12 of 13. Because at this moment, there's only 3 names in the conversation. Okay. Tatum's not one of them.
Okay, I'll Joker then. I'm just saying he shouldn't be 5th. The guy missed a shot. He didn't come up.
He's not an MVP caliber guy yet. And he likely won't be.
I like that you said yet, because obviously the reason they lost, I pointed out some of the things earlier, but it's Jason Tatum didn't play well.
That's right.
All right, and I do wonder. I'm watching that game, and I wonder, is he good enough? As much as I like him, is he good enough to be the best player on a championship team? Now, I got two things. Two things. When I think about that, Nick, I say, one, he's only 26. So he might not be good enough yet, but he could be good enough in a year
You
or two.
think there's another level he can take his game?
I just
If
think
there's not, then
maturity.
he'll never win an
yeah, I
MVP.
just think maturity and experience and you just
Change shot selection.
His skills might not necessarily become better, but just he'll become a smarter, more poised player.
Okay.
But secondly, and maybe this is what you were going to get at, Nick. Maybe they'd have to win it like Detroit in 2004,
Yes.
where and they are built like that.
Yes.
Where we have a bunch of really good players. Our best player is really good, but he's not like that top tier.
Or the Spurs in 14. Because while Duncan's one of the greatest
They were
players
older,
ever,
right, he was older.
Kawhi wasn't a superstar yet, and Duncan was on the downslope.
Popovich.
But Popovich different than Missoula, but that's exactly right. Like
now, maybe he'll get to that level where he can.
He's not getting there this
be
season.
clear.
He's not
No.
going to make a major change this season. And so, it's just, there are some in the weed stuff. Like, last night, Denver's bench really outplayed Boston's. We can show it to you. And as much as everyone loves Boston's starting five, Boston doesn't have a great bench. That's why they traded for Tillman. I don't love Hauser or Pritchard. And Horford is, God bless him for still being, in the league. But Boston has the best starting five theoretically in the league. But then it goes to vapors quickly. But
it's just a bunch of shooters.
It's just like in the last decade, the following people have been the best player on the team with the best record. Devin Booker, awesome player, not the league MVP. Donovan Mitchell, awesome player. Never close league MVP. Old Tim Duncan, 2014 Spurs had the best record in the league. A legendary player was not league. And those teams are well built. They have good starting fives. They play well together. But they don't have that guy as their best guy. Now that doesn't mean Dallas does, and the Celtics are way better than Dallas. But I don't.
Well, they are built. They are built like I'm not writing them off.
No,
I don't think they're going to. We'll make our picks next week. But I'm not writing them off as a chance. But they are built like that Detroit team in 04. Where they just got a bunch of really good players.
Or kind of like the 08 Celtics.
I know they don't want to be built like that, though.
No, they think Tatum is their guy. They think Tatum's their guy. But I think he's not quite. I mean, look, we talked a lot about his clutch numbers, and we know 32% in the clutch and all that, one of the worst in the league. But I don't think it's like the moment's too big for him because he's had big games. Just last year, Game 7 against Philly, what did he go for? 50, 51?
Yeah.
The year before that, when they go to Milwaukee,
Game 6 against
Game
Giannis
6
was
46.
unbelievable.
So I don't think it's the moment's too big. No. I just think he's still growing. And what happens a lot is he has great playoff games, and he has some really bad playoff games.
Because he takes bad shots.
But that's what they do as a team. Oh, you're talking about the two?
No, I'm not talking. Yeah, I'm not talking about open threes. I'm talking about Jason Tatum. The way for Tatum to get to the next level is to take smarter shots. And Tatum's best nights, those games we're talking about, are the days that he is hitting those shots. And it's just hard when we think of the most consistent scorers in the league across all of history, basically, even Steph included. A huge part of their game has been at the rim. For Steph, it's under the rim, but Steph, when he was winning it, when he scored 30, you know what I mean? Totally. He was great, at the basket. Obviously, Giannis, LeBron, Jordan, Kobe. So much of their game is getting to the rim. And I'm not saying Tatum doesn't get to the rim, but it's a lot of settling for tough shots he can make. But that's what leads to some of these head-scratching nights.
The level of difficulty on his shots versus Joker's shots.
Yes.
Very apparent.
Well, that was
yesterday.
the thing. Yes. Like, Boston looked like they were just hanging on for dear life to stay in the game, and it was so much easier.